And same could be said about Zuma and the rest of the guys on FaZe.
Okay, well, we're going to be kicking it off, of course, on hardpoint. We're going to go to the Forest, the Arden Forest, as replays. Bit of a different reticle, but it's working out nicely for him. 2 kills to his name as Splyce get the initial points. But most definitely FaZe getting the map control that is needed here. Number 2, Madcap being a bit of a nuisance, but Priester, he'll deal with him. And we've got 35 seconds left on the clock here. Let's see what Splyce can do to get back into the cave.
Yeah, not surprised to see Forest being played between both these teams. This is a map where if you're on FaZe, you could just let Zuma roam free, right? Just let him loose and do what he wants to do. Bring that aggression and allow Priester to maybe play up to that pace, support him around the map. But in the meantime, it's FaZe. Sure, they have control of the cave hardpoint for the time being, but as replays gets taken down, it's all about the rotation for this upcoming Ruins hardpoint. And there you go. It's going to be Splyce picking up the kills in transition. All 4 go down for FaZe. Now it's Bant set up on the platform, was looking in the right direction over towards Bell. If he's set up inside the hill, picks up a couple more kills, he'll have some streaks to work with.
Well, he's going to get another, and he should get the hard point time. There it is, so just 75 points away now. Jerd's lending a helping hand with a BPSH as well, and this is a really nice setup from Splyce here, maybe underestimating the push onto Bell here, but Bance, a player which, I'm going to be quite honest, he's in the same boat as the likes of Zero for me. I've not seen the best of Bance, but maybe this is the game where he can really step it up, change things around. That's going to be full streak, 7 and 2. Not going to make it 8, but overall, Splyce will regain control here of the Ruins hardpoint. And with just 25 seconds left, is this when they start to push out, Revan?
Yeah, you want to start pushing over towards Bell and start working for the spawns for this upcoming bunker hardpoint. You saw where Zuma just spawned up. That's where Splyce want to start pushing around the map. And speaking a bit about Vance, he certainly had some standout performances, but I agree with your sentiment. We haven't really seen him play to the level of play that we really expect him. But I will say, it's a new role for him, and I think he's starting to get acclimated to this flex role pretty well.
Yeah, I think both players just adjusting, obviously, both when we're talking about Zero. Talking of Zero, Zero, talking of Vance, we're going to see their streaks. And we're going to see a glide bomb come on in. Josh, big kill, will be traded out, and FaZe will retain those spawns. However, 3 players pushing through Bell here. And once again, we're going to see nades, we're going to see stuns, but it looks like FaZe are handling business at the back.
Yeah, absolutely. And because they maintained the spawns in the back bunker for just a little bit, Attach also spawned up over near cabin. So for a moment in time, FaZe extended through the hardpoint, and they had your ideal setup going as you see on the map, contestation going down over near the hardpoint FaZe for the time being. They're holding on inside. Priest is on a force free. He's working towards some streaks of his own. If he's able to earn them, you got some to counter those advance, but he gets cut down, only able to earn the glide bomb.
Well, we all know, and we've all seen those stat sheets for Evan, this hardpoint is the second most collected points on, obviously, over the course, or a money hill just behind Castle Road on Gibraltar. But we see Splyce break into this with 8 seconds left. We're heading to East Road, ironically going to be in the middle of the map. But nevertheless, FaZe set up here. And this is where you want to control that cabin wall. That's where you want to think about even the next one at the start of East Road. Splyce, though, it looks like they're going for a bit of a flank. There's going to be Jerd on that, 11 and 9. We're going to see an artillery barrage as well. Trying to get FaZe off of that, and there we have it. Vance spawning right at the back, hitting a 2.0 right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Splyce are deciding to do this. I mean, yeah, you have the artillery barrage, but now it's going to start working against your team. And when you're talking about this East Road hardpoint, personally, I don't like spawning over near the bridge side map. It feels like you're funneled through the choke points if you want to attack into the hardpoint. It's a fortunate spawn for Josh as well as Vance, as now they're going to be fighting from the bunker side of the map. But yeah, on the East Road hardpoint, fight from the top side. You have more area to work with, more cover to utilize, and the other team, as they spawn up near back bridge, like I was just saying, they're funneled through small choke points, and you can just mow them down as long as you maintain cabin control.
Well, when we watch FaZe, it's all about Zuma and his interactions, currently at 24, but topping that is Jerd, 27 right now, a 3-kill streak, and he's just edging towards that hardpoint. Josh finds a double with a PPSH. Jerd's going to fall down. However, we're heading to the cave, Revan. And that is the first rotation done, dusted. We have a lead of around 50 points here for Splyce, and in control once again is Bant. The key thing is that fighter pilot. Now, we pretty much see that every single time brought into Ruin. So is this where they can just kind of sit at cave, maybe not rotate as early?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you have the streaks. They're a tool to aid you in rotation or aid a break into the hard point. You don't need to call in that fighter pilot until you absolutely need it. And for the side of Splyce, you've had really this 50-point lead since the start of the game. And Momo, you were just talking about the interactions that Zuma brings to the table. He averages around like 58 interactions per game, or at least per 10 minutes. But on the side of Splyce, when you talk about Josh, usually not someone we bring up for Splyce, but he also averages, you know, roughly 57 engagements per map. So both these guys, I expect to see them running into each other a lot throughout this map.
They're fast, they're aggressive, they're rocking that PPSH as always, and we are going to see FaZe take out Splyce, and have the scrap time onto Cave. But remember, Fighter Pilot is in the hands of Splyce. We've got a glide bomb for FaZe Clan, so this is where we can see a lot of score streaks come down. The kill feed is split, but I do like the positioning of both Jerd and Josh. Here we have our first streak.
Okay, Glide Bomb gets called in. Information now gathered for FaZe. They're going to use it to isolate Josh into the middle of the map, and that's going to allow Zuma to push right on through the mid-cut, but he's going to get spotted by Josh off respawn. Bance turns around, but he doesn't need to pepper into any shots. Josh picks up the kill, and now Splyce can stabilize and focus their attention over towards Dome, as it's going to be FaZe fighting off respawn, but they've been able to bring this game back, now only down by 28 points.
28 points, the magic number right now. And do you know what the crazy thing could be, Revan, is Splyce can go out of ruins here still with a Fighter Pilot. They may not need to use it, but with 25 left, they're going to want to jump on this hill. They're wanting to collect as many points as they can. We're going to see Josh go down, answered back by Jerd, currently uncontested.
Yeah, and replays falls as he tried to wrap up the remaining scrap time. And now FaZe, usually you want to push for the remaining scrap time, but since they didn't have success now, they're fighting through the mid-alley. They're fighting through cabin, and nothing is working. It's a clean 4 down for FaZe. Splyce now can extend through the hard point, get their ideal setup going, and you see FaZe, they're just pinned back on the map near the back bridge.
Yeah, Mad Cat and, of course, Josh couldn't be further away from the current hard point, but it's all working out. Look where number 8 spawned, Priester, literally the other side of the map. This is just time that Splyce are soaking up. The glide bomb was used for FaZe. The Fighter Pilot is still in the hands of Bance. 66 points in the lead here as Splyce started to jump around, have some fun. And we talked about interactions. That was a very important thing you brought up, because look at Josh now. He's just hit over 40 interactions to his name. He's still going strong, and Zuma is down. This kill feed, it's very one-sided, Revan.
Yeah, their scores are actually the reciprocal of each other, so they still are keeping pace with each other when it comes to total engagements. But a player I'd like to talk about real quickly is Attach. You see him struggling a little bit here, and he's been struggling in hardpoints for this FaZe lineup. I mean, coming into this one, he's got like a .89 specifically for hardpoint in the KD. Not a usual performance that we see from Attach, but you know, he's also been running more of the assault rifle role for FaZe. So just like we were talking about Bance and him trying to get acclimated to his own flex role, Attach is kind of in the similar shoes.
Well, this game has gone from toe-to-toe to head-to-toe. 200 plays 105. Splyce dominating the second rotation as we go to East Road. And even at this current position, they're not on the hard point right now, but they've got the perfect setup near cabin wall. They've got those streaks to back up exactly what they need. And they're not jumping on the hard point. They don't really need to here. We can see Mad Cat working towards some streaks on a current 3. He's going to jump on in the hard point. That means only 100 away from the glide bomb. Let's see if he can pick this one up.
Dude, it's funny. I'm watching Josh and Zuma and just counting their interactions, and still just the opposite KD ratio of each other. It's been like that for quite some time, but yes, Splyce. We talked about it since the beginning of the game, and it all started with Bance earning those initial score streaks on that very first Ruins hardpoint. Since then, they haven't really looked back. FaZe, for a moment in time, they looked like they were going to be able to bring it close, but once again, on that Ruins hardpoint, Splyce were able to just run away with the game, and now they have a very significant lead here, looking to close it out on this upcoming Cave hardpoint.
I don't know what Red Reserve said to Splyce as they got on the main stage here, but they've certainly gassed them up. They've got all the information and all the confidence in the world here. And one thing I'm noticing is, you know, the loudness of the likes of Scraps. Josh is now bringing that, and I'm actually hearing Mad Cat in the back just going wild. We've got Mad Cat currently sat at +8. You've got Josh at +10, Jerd +7, and Bance, he's killing it. He's +8. Like, what more do you want from a squad?
Yeah, I mean, just like Raider was actually just talking about, sometimes everything that you're doing on the map just works. And just adding on to the conversation about Red Reserve and Scraps, I saw him tweeting last night at some of the European players saying, whenever I have a bad map, I just remind myself that I'm one of the best in the game, and then challenge everything coming to this next map. Seems like Splyce taking a page out of their book as they're just winning every single engagement. I mean, look at the slang that they brought to this very first map. Everybody positive by a significant margin, and they're closing out the game right here, right now.
Yeah, I believe that was 29. Could be wrong with those last couple coming in there, but that's how you outslay a team. That is how you outsmart, outplay, and outslay. Splyce turn that into a one-sided game. First rotation, level, even, tied. Second, FaZe just weren't there.
Yeah, very simply put, Splyce outplayed FaZe in really every facet of hardpoint. But, you know, coming to the hardpoints, these guys were fairly evenly matched when it came to overall map count. I think FaZe were -1 map and Splyce were positive on map. The issue for me when it comes to both these teams in the matchup is coming into the search and destroys. I touched upon it a little bit earlier, but Splyce are 1-6 overall in search and destroys throughout stage 2. It's been a game mode where they've struggled, and Josh has been the lead performer actually in search and destroy. He's coming to the table with a 1.07 KD ratio, but the other 3 of his teammates are below a 1.0, which definitely hurts them in the game mode. And FaZe, this is probably a must-win map for them in the series, even though it's still so early on.
Yeah.
This is the game mode that you have the upper hand in Splyce on.
See, on the desk, I was kind of saying, I feel Valkyrie Search and Destroy, this is where we've actually seen Splyce do some very smart things, but also they've thrown away many, many rounds, not just on Valk. They've done it on Search and Destroys and probably led to their 1-6 record currently. So for me, I wanted to see some improvements from Splyce. I just, even if it's not necessarily a victory in Search and Destroy, the rounds where they get those first bloods, the rounds where they get a 4v2, they need to be closing those out because we know what FaZe can do, what they're capable of. Our current Stage 1 playoff champions are on the other stage, or on the other side of the stage, should I say. But Splyce, this is a very important game for them because FaZe, they're going to be a team that's going to be battling for that top 4 spot alongside Splyce.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so I'm correct, you said the next map is Valkyrie Search?
That's what was on the map pool set. I believe we've got a Valkyrie Search, and map 4 is Valkyrie Harbor.
I'm actually really surprised that Splyce let Valkyrie Search go through, considering that they're 0-4 throughout Stage 2 on this map. FaZe 1-1. Splyce obviously haven't had a lot of success here. I was actually watching some of their gameplay against Red Reserve on this map. Jerd had a nice 1v3, but like you're saying, Splyce, they put themselves in situations where it seems like they should have momentum in Search and Destroy, but unable to carry through for the victory. And
I think that's maybe eating at them a little bit. The fact that they lost yesterday, round 11, and that was a 1v2, which they should have won. Like, it's not about, opinion at that point. It was a must-win, a should-win situation, and maybe they want a little bit of redemption on this one, but of course, we'll be hopping into it very, very shortly. Replays Zuma, Attach, and Priester. 4 players which were so happy after Stage 1, of course, coming away with that championship. They come into Stage 2, and they had a terrible Week 1, Revan.
Yeah, but they're looking to bounce back, right? Both these teams are really in a similar situation. A rough Week 1, maybe you count to its schedule, or just getting back into the rhythm of things here in Stage 2, but take a look at your screen. Call of Duty Championship, CWL Champs, August 15th through the 19th here in Columbus at the Nationwide Arena. Tickets are on sale now. MLG.com/CWL Champs, the biggest event of the year. You don't want to miss out. Go get your tickets, and I'll see you there.
Oh, Champs is a special one. Once a year, you wait for it. You go through all the majors. You go through the leagues, the playoffs, and your one time to turn up is COD Champs. The players know how much money is on the line. However, let's go on to the Search and Destroy, as Bance is going to be the one carrying this bomb. Splyce seems to be very heavy.
Found it out. You got it.
Oh, they favor A. I'm going to reword that one as the tongue twister gets the better of me this time. But the bomb is down. It's done. It's 4v4. Can they go for the retake?
Okay. So obviously FaZe, they're set up more for that B defense, and it's a linear setup from them, just holding down the street. But here you go. They're going to split up 2v2. Also important to cover off that window inside the storage bunker, making sure just in case the bomb's planted for that AR player. But Splyce are able to isolate 2 players from FaZe. It's Zuma and Priesta falling early down to Attach and Replays. Things not looking good for them here in round 1.
Yeah, beautiful bait and switch from Madcat and Jerd there. Madcat just wins the 1v1, and then Jerd up close and personal gets the call out from Madcat. Madcat was a player you highlighted in Search and Destroy, Revan, already kind of standing out. Attach, wow. Okay, nice shot. I don't think it was necessarily needed to a challenge, but Bance probably didn't expect that coming in, as Josh is going to find another kill. So I think that's 2 and 2 for both Josh and Madcat. The duo is back.
Yeah, always in Call of Duty. These guys, no matter what the title is, they find a way to just reunite at one point or another. You love seeing them play together. Obviously, a lot of chemistry between both of them. They have a good understanding on how one another like to play. But speaking a bit about this matchup here, Zuma, I like to talk about him on this FaZe lineup, and for good reason. It's got a 27% first blood percentage for this FaZe lineup, so look for him to get involved early on in these rounds. Of course, it's just the nature of the role he plays. That super aggressive SMG guy just loves to get up close and personal with the opposing players.
And that 27%, correct me if I'm wrong, that's across the 8 players in the lobby rather than the 4. It's you average, if you look at the stats, like 9%-ish, 12%. But this guy, 27, that's absolutely insane from Zuma. Let's see what he can do currently, as Priester is going to be the one to shut down another player from Splyce. Currently in a 3 versus 2, favorable for the FaZe clan. Now, all tied up though, is Bance. Looking to just stay behind the truck here. Attach knows his location. I think Bance might have seen him. Yep, there we have the grenade, and Priester planting the bomb.
But he's getting flanked. Madcat making his way down. Will actually get spotted by Priester, and there you go. FaZe will pick up the final 2 kills. I was getting worried there, and I was about to say that FaZe had to put themselves in a better position to pick up the trades on the map. Valkyrie is a map where it just comes down to trades, whether you're talking about search and destroy, whether you're talking about hardpoint. It's the nature of the map. Being so close-quartered and being one of the smaller maps that we have in the rotation, SMG heavy, you got to be able to follow up your teammates no matter where they are on the map, and make sure that if your teammate does wind up dying, you're there for the trade to even up the man count.
Okay, so all tied up in the search and destroy here, and so far, we've seen Splyce have a very strong round, and FaZe bite back there. Nice finishes, both individuals winning their 1v1s. Again, A is the target for the teams. First blood goes to attach. Bance is the one to fall, and Zuma has kicked it off with another kill here onto Jerd. But apart from that here, FaZe still have that advantage. 3v2 as Josh tries to level up the playing field, and the duo is back from a 4v2 to a 2v2. Madcat and Josh.
Well played by Madcat and Josh so far. They group up, and then they just overwhelm 2 players for FaZe Clan. And once again, the trade's just not there. But now Splyce, they're starting to spread a bit apart. Madcat recognizes, and looks like he's just going to reposition for the time being. As time's starting to wind down in this round, of course, you see on the minimap the bomb is dropped inside the 8 bomb site, so Splyce eventually have to make their way back inside. And Josh, this is a beautiful reposition from him. If he keeps going down this path, he could come up behind both of these FaZe players, and they have no idea what's going on. As he makes his way through the storage bunker, he's going to spot attach, and that's the freest of kills. And now Replays, he's spotted, but he wins the fight against Madcat. It's a 1v1, Replays versus Josh.
Oh, Replay saw him there. So they've engaged. There's 20 seconds to look at Josh up close and personal, charging down like a bull in a china shop. Replays there. He got the shots off, but that STG against the PPSH, you're going to see it in the replay here. Just the fire rate of that weapon. Too much here for Replays.
Yeah, and there's a reason why Josh is the lead performer for Splyce in the Search and Destroy. Talked about it, 1.07 KD. He's the only one on his team above a 1. He also has a 15% first blood percent. So he's the lead performer. And, you know, we gave some flack to Josh, especially when it came to the respawns when these guys first started their play in Stage 2. But he's really started to turn things around. And take a look at this. He's off to a great start in this map, 5-1 right now.
Seeing exactly what's going down. Talking of first blood, seems like everyone wants a piece of the pie as Madcat, Bance, Attach and Replays have all got one for themselves as round number 4 splits it up. But look at this. Replays, you know, 1v1 last time. Now you got 4 to deal with. And the bomb, by the way, is on the other side of the map. Good luck. Have fun. 60 seconds. On you go.
Yeah, very easy round for Splyce here. They just pick off FaZe one by one by one. And nobody there for the trade. Nobody could respond in for FaZe. And as we're saying, Replay's now in a very tough position. 1v4 doable. In fact, we've seen Jerd clutch some 1v4s. We've seen a few so far throughout Stage 2. Does get the line of sight onto Josh, so that's information gained for Splyce. And now just going to buy more time off of the clock. 35 seconds remaining. Bomb still dropped. I think if you're Replays, maybe you just hold the grenade and end it. It's going to toss out a smoke. I still think you just try to find a way to take your life out of the game. Don't feed any extra score to your opponents, especially when you have Josh on a 4 spree, working towards some streaks.
Yeah, Bance on a 2 as well. He's got a plant to his name, so I'm sure he doesn't want to go down. That's Josh right there. And you see Replays backing off. 10 seconds left.
Look down at your feet, throw the Semtex, and end the round. Or you can wait time. I mean, it's 5 more seconds at this point. Either way, it's going to be Splyce walking away with this round victory here in round 4. They're going to start to build a lead as they go up by 3 rounds. Things looking good, and, you know, I touched upon it coming into this matchup. They haven't won a Valkyrie Search and Destroy yet. And they've put themselves in a good position to put their first map win on this map in the standings.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, for you guys who maybe missed it, Revan pointed out that Splyce is 0-4 on this map and mode combination. But, you know, they opt to, you know, maybe ban out a different one. And I'm not sure who picked this one, but either way, it got itself into the rotation. And I don't think Splyce really, you know, disliked this map. I think they've been unlucky twice. I think they've lost 2 round 11s, actually.
Yeah, at the very least, they have more experience on this map than FaZe do, especially in a LAN competitive setting, which at times could mean everything.
This is interesting, because I was tongue-twisted before when I was trying to say they favor the A bomb site, but they've gone full force onto B. And Splyce have got the bomb down again in a 4v4, so everyone up, everyone alive. And now Zuma's got to check his corners. Oh, he should be taken out here. Oh, grenade in hand, there's 3 of them. However, attached to the rescue as he comes through the window, and Vance will fall with a trade, and that's great for FaZe Clan. Jerd now in almost mission impossible. And there we have it. Replay shuts him down, and Oh, that was an interesting one to say the least. Attach, big plays.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all off the back of Zuma just being the bait for Attach right there. And, you know, I gave FaZe a little bit of flack earlier, not playing enough for the trades, but they fixed things up here as, you know, Zuma just baiting inside the storage bunker. Works out that he misses those couple of shots onto Bance as two players wind up lining up for Attach, and then Attach, as he goes in for the third kill, Zuma follows him up, gets the trade, and it's a pretty straightforward retake for FaZe as they find their second round here on Valkyrie Search and Destroy. If you're just tuning in now, FaZe obviously down 0-1 in map count. Splyce absolutely dominated them in the game one on Ardennes Forest hardpoint. But take a look at what FaZe are doing here on offense, and specifically look at that bomb carrier, Priesta. He's all alone over towards that opposite side of the map, but there's Zuma first blood onto Jared. Attach to follow up onto Josh. Vance does wind up getting the trade kill, but the damage is done. FaZe with the man advantage.
A lot of damage done into Bance. I thought someone may have charged on in. And interestingly, Priesta's got the bomb. However, the rest of his squad's over at B, so he needs to rotate over. He does have the support, but quick hop, skip, and a jump, and he's there. Joined, of course, by Attach and replays. Mad Cat's got the intel. Won't surprise a grenade to Kobe over there. Not going to really do anything as Hunker. And, of course, the Armored preventing anything. So now Bance will be left in a 1 versus 3. There should be a tied series after this round, 3-3, but you never know.
Yeah, the key for FaZe in these last couple rounds is, one, they're adjusting their playstyle, playing a bit more tight-quartered, being able to trade out and help out their teammates if they find themselves in trouble. And 2, they're starting to shut down Josh. He had a big impact earlier on in the game, went on what was it, like a 4 spree? As Bance gets cleaned up here, FaZe winning now their second round in a row to tie things up at 3-all.
You're going to see Priesta with the final kill, the Bronze Star. Had a much closer game here. However, you know, when we watched the hardpoint, it was like 100 to 100, and then Splyce took the lead. Of course, hardpoint and Search and Destroy so different. But you can see Splyce, you know, rethinking strategies maybe on this one, because they started hot on this S&D too.
Absolutely, and now it's FaZe roaring back. So like you're saying, similar story to the hardpoint. Now we're looking for Splyce, maybe to see if they could pull away with this game. Jared 1-4, the clutch master. See if he could find some impact in this round. As it's going to be Splyce turn up the aggression, attacking this A bomb site. Josh leading the way around that side alley. And through closet, you see Bance with the bomb. And then just watching the flank is going to be Jared. FaZe, pretty standard setup here on defense as both teams just trying to fill each other out. And this is where the important engagements are going to happen. You see Zuma laying down behind the barrels. He's going to commit onto this fight, but he gets baited around the corner. Mad Cat picks up the kill. Man advantage to Splyce, and now they're getting the objective down.
Same strategy as round number 1. Mad Cat pre-aiming that. Zuma getting a bit over-aggressive, but on the flank is Priesta this time. Jared may have to watch his back, but I feel like this is going to be a bloodbath. Just Jared and Mad Cat. Jared's going to find one and maybe push out. Try and get away, but no. Attach. 4-kill streak here, but it's Mad Cat who has the perfect position. The problem is replays, I think, may have just hurt him.
Perhaps, but Mad Cat, he's anticipating this. He's waiting for replays, and now he's been spotted. You see number 6, Attach. Is he going to move in for the trade? But replays wins the one-on-one engagement. Attach will be able to get this defused. But keep in mind, this is information gathered by Splyce. Because they're all dead, they're spectating these players. So now they know, going into the next round, you have to shut down Attach. And I want to say, just really quick to touch on, at the beginning of the round for Splyce, that was a really well-placed smoke grenade to isolate Zuma for that first blood. You saw that Zuma was laying down behind the barrel, and I want to say it was either Priesta or replays that was set up behind him towards like that back truck, but the smoke grenade blocked off that line of sight, and then Zuma gets baited forward around the corner to get first blooded. It was a great start for Splyce, but unfortunately they can't close out the round as now FaZe take the lead here on Valkyrie Search.
Well, round number 8, and only 1 round separates them, but FaZe find themselves in the lead here, and look at Attach. He's got the bomb, so he's going to try and wait for maybe a pick here, but look at the aggression from Splyce. He's seen the cross. Priest is looking for the help, and my goodness, that's not what you want to see if you're a Splyce fan. That's beautiful, though, for FaZe. So they bait on 2, and now they should be able to go 5-3 up here. With the numbers, you'd expect that bomb to come on through, and what this does mean is Attach is going to be even closer to streaks.
Yeah, absolutely, and the trap was set early on for FaZe, and Splyce walked right into it. They got baited into pushing into the storage side bunker, and they got mowed down. 2 players for FaZe were set up, and that seems to be an easy round for FaZe. And, you know, we were talking about it. Splyce, they built an early lead. FaZe come roaring back, and they haven't looked back since. They now have a lead to work with, and they're looking to close out map 2 to tie the series up.
So Attach doesn't get the bomb down. That's the only positive they take from that round. But he's still on the score streak. Hunt and we're going to see Splyce need 3 rounds back-to-back here up against FaZe.
And FaZe have won 4 rounds in a row, Momo. It was 3-1 before they started this comeback. If they win this one, they'll close out the game in a 5-round swing.
We know what Splyce like to do. Be aggressive onto A, but Josh taken down by the First Blood King.
Yeah, they're just walking in one by one. Bance is there to pick up the trade on the Priesta, and now it's down to Bance as well as Mad Cat. Mad Cat does find the kill on Zuma, so now this is a manageable position for Splyce to be in, but you have Attach as well as replays remaining on the map. The bomb has also been dropped, and time not in favor of Splyce. You got 50 seconds to work with, and FaZe know 100% that the bomb is down.
Oh, you see Bance look away for a second there as he slides on past Bance.
You don't want to fight that.
He's been picked off twice from that position.
And now Mad Cat's going to try to do the exact same thing. He finds more success, though.
He's going to be shot in the back, and that is going to be all she wrote. FaZe Clan with the round victory, the map victory, and in all honesty, they were the better team. They learned, they adapted into the later stages of that search and destroy, and the amount of first bloods that went in favor of FaZe as well. They capitalized on the numbers, and again, now Valkyrie Search and Destroy is a 0-5 for Splyce.
I was about to bring up the stats don't lie, man. FaZe coming to this one, they were the better Search and Destroy team, and they prove it here. This was a bad map for Splyce, and thinking ahead, maybe this is going to be one that they want to veto out in the future, but also not only are they now 0-5 on Valkyrie Search, they're 1-7 overall in Search and Destroy.
Oh, wow. Okay, so top tips for Splyce. Don't go into a game 5, end it in 4, because S&D right now, not their forte.
No, absolutely not. But looking ahead, both teams are pretty evenly matched in the capture the flag, so this should be a much closer game. And
yeah,
no, I thought this series would be close and contested, and it's living up to my expectations.
Well, hardpoint is done. That goes in favor of Splyce. FaZe do bite back with a Search and Destroy victory, as you've just seen on Valkyrie. But coming up next is, of course, capture the flag. Guys, we'll be right back after this quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CWL Pro League. Myself, Momo, joined by the wonderful Revan for FaZe versus Splyce here. It's all tied up 1-1. We're going to be going into capture the flag, and we've been obviously looking at the stats before this series came back into the action. The players have taken a break. Revan, how are you feeling about this series, and are you leaning towards any team in particular now that you know that London Docks is the map for capture the flag?
Yeah, this is a good map for Splyce. So far throughout Stage 2, they're 2-0, whereas FaZe are 1-2, and it's also important to note that FaZe always veto Flag Tower CTF, so it's up to their opponents to pick either Docks or Force CTF. And real quick, as you know, both teams are just going to feel each other out off the start. This is going to be a great start for FaZe. Actually, I'll go back to my point a little bit later, as Priesta has a touch on the flag already, and now it's a foot race on the overextension. Replays, turning back around, controlling fire. One more kill to get, and that's going to be on the Jerd. And this should be a FaZe flag cap in the opening minute. Yeah, he spots him. They know he's here.
But Jerd gets one kill. And Josh gets another, so now they can maybe go for a counter cap. I love what Jerd's done here. He's kind of just stayed alive, and he's got another. He's got the backup of his teammates, and do you know what?
Beautifully
You might be 1-0 down, but all hail King Jerd right there. That was beautifully done. No hesitation. It was just a smart heads-up play.
Yeah, absolutely. As he stays alive, buys time for his teammates to travel across the map, and FaZe were so worried about Jerd being behind the box that they kind of forgot about the other teammates coming off respawn for Splyce. Now, the man on your screen here, Madcat, took down Zuma, immediately traded out. But whenever you're talking about Splyce and capture flag specifically, Madcat is the player to watch. He has the highest KD on this team by a landslide at 1.51. Obviously, the lead slayer, and look, the role he plays certainly attests to that as well, being a more of a slow-paced AR control player.
Well, Splyce might have had a counter cap, but you look at the first 90 seconds, and FaZe definitely seems like the aggressor in this game. Replays 2-on-1 right now. He's just been a bit of a nuisance down by that lower side dock. But look at number one. Vance, like grab and go seems to be the strategy. He's got Josh at the gate. He's got Jerd, and he's got Madcat at the base. It's just a little bit of a running race right now, and he's going to be able to get into Cole. The question is this right here, Madcat. You pointed it out, Revan, with a 1.5. It's good, it's great, and it's going to be 2-1 Splyce.
Yeah, honestly, Madcat should have team killed Vance and gotten that flag cap, but that's just me being a little bit nitpicky. You always want to try to further that progression over towards streaks, especially on a map like London Docks. But here comes Jerd, not stopping on the aggression. Meanwhile, at the Splyce base, Vance does wind up the kill on Priesta. Got a little bit dodgy there, but now both teams going to stabilize here and fighting for mid-map control. In the meantime, it's Splyce with the lead, 2-1.
Oh, Revan, I don't know about you, but this is literally why I love London Docks CTF. It's so fast-paced.
Anything could happen.
I just love the fact that, you know, it's so strategical as well. Like, these guys are having to push the correct directions, turn and take down enemies whenever needed. But Zuma now should grab the flag, potentially run Cole. But look at this. He's opted to go down to waterside right into the enemy.
Back up. Back up. Your teammate sees them spawning up. They pick up the kill on the Madcap, but still two players to get past. And Josh also coming off respawn. Vance finds one. Zuma still alive with the flag. And now he gets fully streaked out. But still, it's Jerd alive. Over near Docks, taking some heavy fire. How does he win that fight? How does he win that engagement on the replays? He's still alive. He's going to do it again, Jerd. You are the king.
Oh my
goodness. The flag for Splyce.
2 jump shots over the barrels, denies FaZe. And yes, FaZe, I believe it was Zuma who gets the score streaks. But Jerd, it's like a little bunny rabbit down by the docks there.
Unbelievable how he's able to make that play happen. And now Splyce turning up the heat, looking to start to build a lead in this capture of flag. They have a chance to get the FaZe flag out of the base, but they need to find one kill. In the meantime, of course, it's Zuma coming around the back. Attach finds 2. Zuma will find the 3rd. And now it's up to Jerd once again on the defensive end, inside barrels. He gets spotted, but that's going to buy time for the FaZe members to push on up. Jerd, I don't know how he's doing this. 9-4 right now in this game, has a flag cap. The standout performer from this Splyce lineup so far in this match.
Oh, without a doubt. Madcat is going to be right at the back of the map. This gives me flashbacks of Black Ops 1. If anyone out there was watching Madcat back then, he didn't move. But now we're into a different era, a different strategy. Ooh. Be looking to see how he adapts as he starts to push on forward just a little bit, let's be honest. FaZe, again, they're 2-1 down right now, but they have been constantly aggressive here into the barrel building, putting pressure on. But Jerd, it's just electric.
The guy can't do no wrong right now. Every play that he makes winds up being the right one, and it helps when you're hitting all your shots and all your bullets. And of course he re-challenges that. How do you win these engagements? He's staying alive, and now you see FaZe members swarming, trying to pick off Jerd on the map. And I'm going to agree with your sentiment, Momo. Throughout this half, it really does seem like FaZe have had more control over the map. They put on more aggression over towards the Splyce side over on their flag, but unfortunately, it's just these small sequence of events that Splyce have been able to stabilize and find these 2 flag caps. And going to the half, it's looking like they're going to have the lead.
Well, with 15 seconds left, it's looking like a 2-1 half, as we do see Jerd with a 2.0. The rest of his squad slightly negative, but overall, an interesting half to say the least. FaZe, I feel, should have tied this up 2-2. Zuma directed the flag potentially in the wrong direction here, you know, going down to that dock side, but it could have paid off because he could have got the kill, could have got the cap, and it would have led to even more streaks. But Mad Cat here is going to get the bronze star for that half, as he picks
Jerd
up
deserves
the
it more.
all-important too. Jerd gets the gold star.
He gets the sticker up on the chart. But yeah, aside from Jerd making that heroic play, I feel like on that moment, right, in that sequence where Jerd does make that play happen, right before it, you have a player set up mid-statue for FaZe. He spots the spawns coming in on the water side. I feel like as soon as you get that information, you tell it to Zuma, and all he has to do is run it through mid-statue, right? You don't have to run it on the street. Just go along with the high ground. Could have potentially been the game-tying flag cap for FaZe, but now it's a new half and a new opportunity for both these teams to establish control and set the pace.
And I do think as well, FaZe might be down by 1, but because they've been so aggressive, they do have streaks. If they manage to be, you know, forceful here and grab a flag, those streaks could very much, you know, create like a relay. I don't think FaZe are out of this by any stretch of the imagination. I'm actually favoring these guys to get a couple more actually on this side. So let's see what Splyce can do in the defense, because Josh, he's coming from behind, but he's going to be taken down. Mad Cat needs to go big. But here we go, Fighter Pilot. That's going to be one, and may find a couple more, but the wall saves them. Mad Cat finds one. Bance as well, trading things out. I can't believe FaZe didn't get the flag out.
Same. That was the opportunity to tie the game up, and now it's just going to be attached, working alongside Zuma, I believe, inside fire. Still trying to get this flag out, but Josh coming off respawn, rotating back, and also keep an eye on Jerd. He's overextending right over towards the FaZe base. If FaZe are unable to make these kills happen over near the Splyce flag, this could be Splyce going with a 2-flag lead.
Oh, and that's big as well. Bance secures the flag towards his base. Now, I want to see what number 3's doing, because he is the key player. He needs to stop replays. The glide bomb's coming in. Josh may take one for the team, but no. Is it the flag carrier? I can't even see. Just still going. This is going to be another flag for Splyce.
Not only that, they get the flag cap and they burn 2 crucial streaks for FaZe. Only the artillery barrage remaining for Zuma, but that is also an impactful one. If FaZe could get set up once again, and maybe they should have started with the artillery barrage to cut off the reinforcements coming off that back warehouse, but now it's Splyce. They have a 2-flag lead, which is a fairly comfortable one at that, but keep in mind, it's London Docks. Anything could happen. Josh, as he spawns out over near the waterside docks, finds the kill, and now he's going to go right for that FaZe base. Only 1 player remaining. It's going to be Zuma inside fire. Josh is going to surge on forward as Mad Cat finds the kill, once again turning up the heat.
I want to give a little credit to Josh as well. He might be -2, but during that whole process of when the glide bomb was coming in, he made 1 kill by rotating round into fire, which a lot of you guys may have missed. But what he actually does is just take out 1 player that he needs to and just delays them by maybe 3-4 seconds. Really heads-up play, and this is
another flag cap.
They're going to grab it. Can they get out?
Zuma looks like he wanted to use the artillery barrage, but with no one to follow it up, I don't blame him for not committing to that.
And now he's going to use it. Oh, I don't like it.
I think he's going to dive around in and cap it, yeah.
Because even if he dies now, yep, it's a flag cap. And to be honest, it's not like they can push forward and pull one. Look at this. Hi, Josh. Hi, Bance. There goes another flag. They can't even jump on the flag because the artillery barrage.
Now, Zuma's the only one in position. You see Priest also pushing up to try to get this return. They're going to pull it out and try to force the stalemate. And look, you can't really fault Zuma for calling in the artillery barrage because you're starting to fall behind in flag caps. I think it is better used on the offensive push, but you're running out of options, right? And they had to do something.
The only difference is I think he should have called it in when he first initially picked it up. He kind of hesitated with it, but you know, I don't discredit that because again, it's a very tough position. Now it's flag v flag. It's a split. And Josh picks it up. This should be flag number 5. It should be more streaks on the board. Josh is going to put that one home and dry. Fighter Pilot, he may call this in straight away to help out his teammates.
Yeah, either way, you know, with 1 minute 30 seconds remaining, Splyce, they're very much in a commanding position on this map. Now they up by 4 flags. You got full streaks to work with. Josh connects with the glide bomb, just limiting the amount of FaZe players on the map. And over at the FaZe base, Zuma does find 2 clutch kills on the defensive end, but it's been all him all game long. The only player positive for FaZe. Not a whole lot of slaying. And look, I think this map all boils down to that one sequence of events that Jerd has. The miraculous return and the 2 PC has to stop Zuma from capping that flag, I think is really where the tide turns in Splyce's favor.
Yeah, I'll say this time and time again. Since the departure of Tommy, as much of an amazing player that he is, it feels like Jerd is playing better. Now, I can't put, you know, the point or the pinpoint of why that is. You know, is it just more free roam? Is that because, you know, the shot calling's different? Is it Josh? You know, Evan, why is it, Tom?
It is Josh being more of a SMG heavy player, right? That's somebody that Jerd can play off of, right? Somebody that could play to the pace of Jerd. Vance, he was obviously struggling in that SMG role early on, and they decided to swap him over to Flex, and, you know, he proved that he deserved to have that role in that map 1 hardpoint. So it's Jerd being more comfortable playing to the side of Josh, and, you know, they can play at a similar pace, like I was saying. You see it a lot of times. I like to bring up TK with Kenny and Pharaoh, 2 very aggressive SMG players that just play at the same pace, follow one another up, and, you know, it definitely helps to have somebody that you trust by your side.
I don't even know what's going on with these flags at the moment.
Well, it doesn't matter.
No, it's interesting to see, though, because Splyce are in so much control. This is almost what FaZe did to Epsilon on this map, and Splyce, they're making them look amateur. We said before, Revan, if you Splyce, the top tip is don't go to game 5. That's 1 step towards that plan. However, with FaZe, if they can draw out another hard point, push it to that final search and destroy, we know how poor Splyce have been. So still anyone's game right now. And yes, Splyce do take the lead 2-1. But FaZe, they're going to be frustrated, annoyed, maybe a little embarrassed.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that sentiment. And look, this could have been a 3-0 for Splyce. You think back to that Game 2 Search and Destroy. They were up 3-1 before giving up 5 straight rounds to FaZe to allow them to close that out. But here you go. You have a lifeline for FaZe in this upcoming game for a hardpoint. And Momo, I brought the stats coming to that CTF. Splyce were undefeated on London Docks, captured the flag, and they remain to be that as they go 3-0.
Revan, the stat man, bringing it all in, and that's what we'd like to hear. And that's just going to develop as Stage 2 goes on. When we start to see Division B come in, Division A go home, the return of both teams, Anaheim as well, we're going to really get those kind of core stats of who is kind of the best player in Search and Destroy, the one putting up the highest flag caps in CTF, if you like. But all that aside, another hard point is coming up, and we're going to see if Splyce can close it out, or if FaZe push it to a Game 5. Again, this was the one game throughout all 5 today, which I struggled most for predictions on. And I think you guys can, you know, vouch that this is probably why. It's so back and forth. However, if you look at the score lines, you know, dominating Hardpoint, dominating Search and Destroy, and dominating CTF. Valkyrie Hardpoint, though, as we're heading back there, have you got anything for us on Valkyrie Hardpoint? What have we got to watch out for, Evan?
Nothing really significant here. This is the first time we're seeing FaZe play this map throughout Stage 2, and Splyce are 1-1 when it comes down to Hardpoint gear. I think the biggest thing to look forward to is the supporting cast has definitely shown up to help out Mad Cat. I pointed out he was the only person above a 1.0 KD for this lineup when it comes to, you know, overall in the respawns. It's great to see that he's getting some help from his teammates, especially Jerd, as well as Bance. They're really having a great series here against FaZe.
I think if Jerd continues in this form, FaZe are in a lot of trouble. Josh, again, is kind of the interaction battle with Zuma. And then you've got Mad Cat and Replays. It's, you know, how do they adapt? Do we see a 4 SMG meta on this? Do we see both of them running bars, STGs? We'll, of course, find out very, very soon. Attach didn't play well in the first hard point. This is your time to turn up. He's more of your SMG player. Oh, you know.
Yeah, you need him here.
How long have they been high-fiving for? Come on, get it right, boys.
Yeah, high fives are the key to a good team chemistry.
And they can't even do it.
Yeah.
All smiles all around, though. 2-1 up in the series. Will not want to see that Game 5.
No, we talked about it a lot so far. Splyce are, what, like 1-6 right now in Search and Destroy. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to see a Game 5 if you're a Splyce fan. But if you're a FaZe fan, that's exactly what you want to see. They've been killing it in Search and Destroy, especially Zuma and Attach. But you got to get past this Valkyrie hardpoint. FaZe had to bring the something to the table here if they want to see that final game.
Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks for Splyce on this map. They played Red Reserve, I think, day 1, week 1, and it didn't go well. They had a terrible start. They clawed their way back into it, but they still lost. Can't recall who they beat on this map. However, they're obviously feeling better, more confident. Now they've got a win under their belt. So, Paradox in the back. Who we jumping on board with first? Who we dropping on down? It's going to be Josh. He had a great CTF there, as, to be honest, so did everyone else on Splyce.
Yeah, and I know it was a while ago, different roster as well, so different circumstances, but this was a great map back at Birmingham for the Splyce lineup, right? They just dominated everybody when they were playing. Of course, different circumstances, completely different environments, so this should be a map that they feel comfortable on, and it's a good start for them. 15 seconds already inside this first hardpoint, but here comes FaZe, barreling back into this Vents hardpoint. They take over. Now they have position to work with, and you see two players already starting to fight for positioning for this upcoming Operations Bunker hardpoint.
Yeah, sloppy shots, I think, from Bance on the middle hardpoint, but he's trying to make up for it now, and he will do. Great stuff there. Is that a body shot? I'm not sure, Bance, but calm down, chill out. 2-2 as he...
Too early for that.
He's going for some long-range beamers there, and on to number 8 being Zuma. When Splyce, they're going to have the rotation, but they've lost out on a couple of seconds here on that middle hardpoint. Look how far out Zuma spawned too.
And you know, you're highlighting the assault rifle players coming to this one. Replay's having a great start, 4-1 on a 3 spree. Could potentially work over towards some score streaks, but on a map like Valkyrie, sure, it's not too impactful, but they're nice to have. In the meantime, it's Splyce with the early positioning over near the Operations Bunker. Really what they want to do is push out that top right-hand corner, block off the spawns, and force FaZe to spawn out over near the side of loading where Josh just might up spawning up, and he's going to rotate in through office. But right now, FaZe, they're just trying to find an entry, trying to find some kills so that they could collapse in on this Splyce setup.
Odd to see replays of the PPSH as he picked it up there, but look at Attach now. 2 and 4, there's his first 2 kills. Oh, okay.
You can just shoot through this entire hardpoint.
Yeah, it's like paper thin. Start peppering it up and doing some business here, but with 20 seconds left, FaZe again getting the scrap time. It's going to put them roughly around 25 points in the lead here if they continue to soak up all the time. But look at Splyce here. They're not in the next hard point. They've actually pushed out. They're looking for the cuts here. They're not wanting to give any time or any positioning away. And Jerd gets one and then baits out. He actually picks up the kill, but I love that combination from Jerd and Madcat.
Yeah, and keep in mind, as long as you control, like, over near that back office side of the map, you're going to force FaZe to spawn and push in from smokestacks, which is exactly where Josh was looking before he got cut down. And just like that, it's a perfect break for FaZe. Zuma finds 2, Replays finds 2, but still the spawn's in favor of Splyce. They spawn up right near the side of Sorge, and they can fight right back into this one. So they have a second chance to push on in and establish control once again.
Yeah, Replays on the flank, though. He could find a nasty little double here. He's going to find one, not the second, though. Madcat shuts it down. Jerd as well, battling it here with the machine pistol coming in. The way Jerd stays alive baffles my brain. It really does. And he's going to have another one. He's still going. Okay, finally taken down. It's Replays. And credit to FaZe because they've broke that hard point and they've actually come out on top.
Yeah, Jerd is a wizard at times, man. Tough for FaZe to take him out, but so far it's been a fairly back-and-forth game as it's going to be FaZe building on this 20-point lead that they currently have, looking ahead over towards this upcoming office hardpoint as Splyce. Look how close they spawn in towards this new hardpoint. They're going to be able to establish some sort of early control and have some presence here, assuming they could take out these FaZe players. Attach and Zuma here to work alongside each other. Priest also jumping in as he takes down Josh. It's going to be Madcat to follow this one up, but the split spawn's coming in from Splyce. It's going to be Josh and Jerd fighting from the back.
Important there, Madcat just trying to stay alive, but he doesn't manage to do so. So great play from FaZe here to pick him apart. Bance with a double, and I like the rotation from Bance. He's picked up 2 on the flank, and now it makes Priest to turn around. It questions the FaZe clan, and now they are going to regain the control here for Splyce, and that came from Bance. Even though they only got the double on rotation, it just makes FaZe question themselves.
Yeah, Bance on a 6 spree now. Glide bomb earned. So when you think about, you know, the upcoming smokestacks hardpoint, could see these streaks used there. And Bance, he's got the PPSH in his back pocket. And, you know, we were comparing the assault rifle players coming to this one. Right now, Replays clearly winning the battle as Madcat for Splyce sitting at 6 and 10. But at least he's got some good time inside the hardpoint.
Yeah, and what he's going to do, he's going to push both the players at smokestacks into the building. And what he's going to do is find himself an artillery barrage on this. Can he get the fighter pilot? No, Replays. He comes out on top. It's an assault rifle battle, so you're not surprised. But we are going to now see that artillery barrage put down instantly here. Look how close this game is. Oh, you're on top of him, Madcat.
Yeah, there's that one open area where the barrage is just not landing, and that allowed FaZe to get a little bit of time inside that hard point, but it's back and forth this entire game, Momo. Only 2 points separating both of these teams as Zuma finds his way inside the hard point, pushes through the map room, but he's met with Jerd. Jerd's just been having a stellar performance this entire series, even though right now he's 11 and 10. You can clearly tell that some of the kills he's gotten throughout this game, throughout this map, have been impactful, but it's a clean 4 down for Splyce. FaZe setting up inside the hardpoint, looking to lock down these final 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's a nice 4 down here for FaZe just to clean out smokestacks. And what they can do, of course, is set up in the ventilation room. FaZe, they take the lead here. There's 6 seconds left on smokestacks. Go into the next hardpoint. I want to see how they're going to break and want to hear how they're going to break this next hardpoint. Let's jump on board with an Astro Gaming Listening with the FaZe clan.
I don't see elbow, I don't see elbow. Nader hill, I'm weak.
I got Josh.
School steps.
Really
weak.
I'll go to main door,
School steps, yeah, school steps, Vance, black card. Vance is black card. Oh, you got me.
One elbow,
Watch out,
elbow truck.
I threw an elbow truck. Elbow truck. I need help. Don't help you.
When I pay,
Elbow truck. Hit her. Nice shot. Elbow truck. Main door, weak. One shot, main door. Watch out. Even more weak. Good time. I'm going to get back alley. Yeah, get back alley. I have main door.
Go back alley.
Come, just sit down. Dead.
Nice.
Yo, closet. Fuck, dude. Closet and closet and door. I spawn good. I still spawn good.
They spawn pit.
Alright.
Yeah, one shot elbow.
I 3 naded the elbow truck. Back alley, guys. Back alley weak. She's pushing it. I spawn out.
I watch the back, dead.
Nice show. Is he in the new hill?
Yeah, one was front. He's at the barrels. You shooting me? I'm one shot.
Jordan, no, there's 2 no guys. One front, 2 no.
I got him.
Look your fire door.
I have to hold the back.
Window, got him. Got one.
Nice.
Yo, I spawn still. There's
Watch
one
the
pit
back,
still.
watching the D.
I fell.
There's one pit still.
I fell.
I'm holding the back.
I'll see a pit yet though. You're gonna go around back, heavy.
Absolute in the back.
You're gonna go around back, guys.
Alright, here.
Yep.
I'll get hill.
Josh is in the back. Absolute.
Two.
Nice. Look for
No
Josh.
one garage, one to the back.
I have your front. I have your window.
Yeah, spawn out.
Yeah, stuck. I got one window. No, he's one shot window. Going window right now.
Get
Yeah, I got it. I'm one shot hill.
Watch the cross. Got the cross. Got one.
Got me on hill. He's weak.
I got naded. I fell. Nice. Foot hill. Back. Hurt. Jared's hurt. 35 seconds, guys. 35 seconds. Let's go. Nice. Good.
Bench, dead.
Nice.
Vance one shot hill. Vance one shot back left. If you have a nade in the back, there's 2 windows.
You need me. I got one. I fell.
Two in the back.
One window. Hold on.
Jared's in the back. I couldn't get through the smoke. Jared's in the back.
Window dead.
He got me on hill. Jared. He's absolute.
Alright, I'm holding front rotation. We need vents.
I'm at pit.
Watch out. Two. I'll try and watch back alley with you. Hold, guys. Hold. I need vents. I'm going stones. Closet. Got him.
Nice.
Back alley. I need help. I'm hurt. In closet. Semi on me, guys.
Okay, all hectic in the firehouse, as fire as the pros like to call it. I'm learning the call-outs for the pros here. Little different from our call-outs, but heading to the storage bunker, aka school. Splyce lead by around 15 seconds, but this is a great setup, Revan, for FaZe.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a similar one that we saw a Splyce employee last time we were at this storage bunker hardpoint. Important just to control this back office side of the map. Of course, that is also the upcoming hardpoint in 35 seconds time. So FaZe, if they're able to lock this one down, they put themselves in a good position for this upcoming hardpoint. And now FaZe, they retake the lead in this game. It's been back and forth all game long, and Replays has had a standout performance from start to finish. 22 and 12 on a force spree, working towards some streaks of his own.
Well, Vance coming in from the window as well. Splyce gain control. There's 20 seconds left, and I love what FaZe is doing here. They're already thinking about the new one. They're in the lead. They can do that. However, scrap time still important. Zuma, he has other ideas. There's a 5-kill streak for Replays, who's working towards that. But no, Jerd, another big 1v1 as he finally gets taken down. So FaZe have scrap time. FaZe have rotation. FaZe have the lead. Are we going to a game 5?
Nice 3-piece from attached there in transition to this new hardpoint, just forcing Splyce to spawn further away from the new hardpoint that just popped up. It's going to be Priesta inside. FaZe looking to close it out right here on this office hardpoint. They only need around 30 more seconds.
That's a big 2-piece coming in. 3-piece there combined for Jerd, Bance, and Madcat. One in the last. It's a clean sweep. FaZe are going to spawn out, and now this is the one chance for Splyce to really push them back. More kills going in favor of FaZe for now. Jerd shuts down one, he's weak, and Josh, the combination will find 2, and Josh finds another here, and with 2:04 playing 2:17, Josh should be taken down, but oh my goodness, what are you doing? 4-kill streak, now he'll be traded out. There's 16 seconds left, so Splyce should have the lead going into the smokestack here. I don't believe there's any score streaks on, or available, should I say. No, they've actually left those last 7 seconds, which I don't disagree with, but Josh's gonna bump that there for the extra 100. It's all about the break. FaZe have the setup though, Revan.
Yep, talk about a crucial moment in the game to start to turn up and have an impact as Priesta connects with the stick, but Zuma's gonna steal the kill away from him real quick. Did Replays wind up earning those streaks or not? No, so no glide bomb available. I don't think anything available for either of these teams, so it's just gonna come down to raw gun skill. 18 points for FaZe to close this one out, whereas Splyce need 33.
Josh finds 2. Josh, what are you doing? He finds the 3rd as well. It was looking so good for FaZe. Don't rule them out, though, as one player behind is Zuma. Not for long, and he's going to have to push through the wood, push through the bunker. 2:26. Are we going to see another ventilation room? My goodness, FaZe just breaking, and there's still 22 seconds. They can win it on here, but Splyce still have those back spawns.
Yeah, absolutely, and keep in mind, Splyce can no longer win on this hardpoint, so they have to commit into the smokestacks, and they have to deny 10 seconds from FaZe. Still enough time on the clock. Attaches on the inside. He wins the gunfight against Bance. Splyce still have to commit here. 5 seconds remaining. FaZe, are they going to close it out? They're going to do it, Bobo. We're going to game 5.
Game 5 is upon us, and FaZe Clan, they crawl their way back into this one, and you've got to say that was so back and forth, and that's a hard point which I expect from these two teams. Not like map number 1, but wow, we've been pushed to that 5th and final game, which of course we're going to bring up a few statistics for in Search and Destroy in a couple of seconds. But I do want to focus on that hard point that we've just seen. We saw great things from both teams. However, it was back and forth. No one could kind of get in a roll like a team like, say, Red Reserve, who were, you know, relaying point after point, you know, rotation after rotation. Is that maybe just both teams being great or both teams be sloppy? Like, why is it so back and forth?
Well, it'd be one team early on. They had that initial setup right, and they had early control, but then towards like the later end, when they would give up the favorable spawns, the other team would just break on in and get the remaining scrap time. So it's really like a lot of like 40, 20 point swings. And I'm just thinking back, I don't think we ever saw like a lead over 40 points throughout that game. So yeah, no team really able to establish a lot of control, even though it was Splyce early on, right? They had some streaks to work with, and you know, you got to give it up to Replays. He has a huge game for FaZe.
You really, really do. Replay stepping it up in game number 4. Game 5 is upon us. Search and Destroy will be coming up after this quick break, guys. Do not go anywhere. Myself and Revan will be right back. FaZe versus Splyce. We're going to go to a game 5 here for match number 4 on day 2 of the CWL Pro League Stage 2, Week 2. Myself and Revan have been guiding you through this wonderful game so far. We've seen flashy plays from Jerd on CTF. We've seen a brilliant teamwork of FaZe on Hardpoint Valkyrie, and heading right back to the start. Splyce kind of blew out Forest, but we're heading to the final map, which is St. Marie de Mont on Search and Destroy. Coming into this one, Revan, Splyce their S&D isn't too great.
No, 1-7 overall in the Search and Destroy map count after losing the first one this series on that Valkyrie Search, which they're now 0-5 on, by the way. But coming into this 5th and final map, this is a comfort pick for FaZe Clan. They're 2-0 so far throughout Stage 2. For the side of Splyce, when you talk about St. Marie Search and Destroy, this is the first time we're seeing them played in Stage 2.
Okay, well, Bance is in. He's been peppered with stuns, nades, but he's still survived. And we talk about, obviously, Splyce record there. You said they're 1-7.
Yeah.
But they're 0-5 on Valkyrie. So, heavy majority of that is Valkyrie. But we're going to see first blood in the hands of Josh here with the STG. We're going to see Josh, actually, which is number 8, sorry. Correct myself. Just picks off Zuma. They are on the defense, so FaZe looking for maybe a rotation to A. Still a bit indecisive here, Revan.
Yeah, just looking for an opening so that they could decide on what bomb site they want to attack towards. Madcat could get isolated behind the tower here. Was he spotted? Both players from FaZe looking right at him. It's a great team shot from Attach and Replays as they shut him down. That opens up the A bomb site, and now the objective getting planted. But number 8 on your minimap, Josh, thought he was going to inch on forward towards these barrels. Going to miss the opportunity to take out that bomb planter. But FaZe backing on up. Look at where they're playing on the map. They are close to giving up that line of sight onto the bomb, and they need to make sure that they hold position over near that back shed so that they can kill any bomb diffuser coming in.
Well, Jerd's going to find one just lying down here, and the little jiggle peek, the shoulder. But Priest is there to tag in and pick up the kill, and this is looking good for FaZe from a 3v4 to a 3v2. FaZe Clan are going to be in a prime position. Josh needs the 1v3, but the time's just against him, Revan.
Yeah, he doesn't have time to make anything happen. In fact, he's going to get shut down from behind. It's a good opening round from FaZe. Just like you were pointing out, they do get first blooded. Zuma fell early on, and he's been one of FaZe's most impactful players, especially early on in rounds for Search and Destroy. So it was a big kill for Josh to get to open things up, but Splyce unable to work the man advantage in their favor. And really, the round swings in favor of FaZe once they take out Madcat behind the lookout tower. They employ a tight setup near that back shed side of the map after getting the bomb planted, and just use their post-plant positioning and win the round from there.
See, this is where the point where Tommy would normally be commanding the troops through Search and Destroy as the captain, but roster chains have gone down. It's a completely different team, it feels like, with just one change. And wow, Jerd's just going to take Priester out like that with a double nade. However, the playing field is level after a couple of kills either side. Now, Zuma is backed off, but the bomb site firmly in the hands of Splyce. Zuma does have a stun.
He's probably going to toss it out as soon as that bomb gets planted and maybe challenge with Attach as he moves through top red. We'll see how it plays out, but you see FaZe starting to set up, and both Splyce players pretty close to one another. And they spotted Jerd behind the tower.
So they know where Attach is. Jerd's location's been revealed. Free fire coming in. Here comes the stuns. Uh-oh, Bance could be caught off guard. He will be caught off guard. And there you go. Ah, the perfect retake for FaZe, and it seems like just a little bit smarter in the way that he approached, because those stuns there that they threw over didn't really connect, didn't do any damage, but it was just the positioning from Splyce.
Yeah, and it was good early coordinated grenades by Splyce, right?
Yeah.
They find that first blood in the Priest inside the site, they take it over, and unfortunately, when it came down to that 2v2, Attach plays the perfect bait. You know, he's peppering shots through the wall. You know, you could jump up and peer over that wall in top red to see if somebody's behind the bomb. Zuma spotted Jerd behind the radio tower, so they knew exactly where both players for Splyce were located. They work well together. They find both kills. No one dies in that retake for FaZe as they win the first 2 rounds here in Search and Destroy. Attach yet to die.
Good stuff from Attach. Might have had a poor map 1, but he's certainly making up for it here with a nade onto Bance. What exactly is that? Is that Bance maybe not using any armor, not using any hunker? Like,
maybe it was a double nade from FaZe, one of the two.
Caught off guard, that's for sure. And the B-bomb site now firmly in the hands of FaZe, but nade from Madcat. Josh is on the flank. Replays has spotted him.
Whew, he gets banged right through the wall there, shut down, and that opens up the flank now for Splyce. You saw Jerd contemplating it for just a second. As Splyce, they're going to spread out. Keep in mind, 3 ways to enter this B-bomb site. 3 players left alive for Splyce, so they could have went through each of the entrances, but time working against them. Only 25 seconds remaining on this bomb timer.
Nice picks and plays. That's a quick sweep there.
Right.
As 3v3 turns to 3v0. As FaZe again coming out on top. You said it was a comfort pick for them, Revan. 3-0. It's looking good.
Yeah, great start for them, especially Attach. He's been also an impactful player. He's got Zuma beating KD ratio by 0.01 for this game mode specifically. But of course, Zuma gets involved in the round so early on, right? We talked about his first blood percent. One of the highest that we have in the league, if not the highest. So keep an eye on him. Attach 5-0, Zuma 3-1.
One-off streaks here. Revan, I gave a very odd statement before this. Was the tip for Splyce was don't go game 5. It seems to be the case. And another first blood here coming in, but answered back and straight away. FaZe. These rounds
Do
are
these
turning
guys
into
not
20
have hunkered
seconds.
or armored on?
What's going on?
All 3 kills made by FaZe in this round were by grenades. Bance gets stunned up. I guess the reason why is, you know, they switch over to Mountain. They think that Attach already has streaks to use. And wow, what a straightforward round from FaZe. It seems like just like 5 seconds ago, we were loading into the map. And now all of a sudden, FaZe are up 4 rounds to 0.
It's like 20, 25-second rounds here. And again, so many grenade kills. I mean, yes, if you get double-naded, a coordinated grenade is tough to take, but I mean, I can't be sure exactly what they were using there. We saw Mountain Hunker and
Maybe they're using Instincts, Afraid from Stuns. Paradox, real quick. Can we flip through these Splyce players? I want to see what they're using. Okay, Hunker, Armored, and Mountain Scope. So Mad Cat, the only player not able to...
And now there's full
grenades. Yeah, now you got everything to use for Attach. And look, all you need to do is get this bomb planted at either bomb site, have Attach stay alive in the back, and you win the round. Easy win condition to have in Search and Destroy.
This is FaZe's game to throw away for sure. Looking really, really good for FaZe Clan here. They've opted not to go into the B-bomb site, but here comes the glide bomb, so information potentially. Can't really see anyone, but spots Josh. You might have Mountain, but if you stood in the open, I don't really have any sympathy for you there. And Mad Cat's been spotted. Bance has gone down. That's going to be a 1v3 for Jerd. And ladies and gentlemen, FaZe Clan should be leading this 5-0 in a very short while. But Jerd, he's pulled off a 1v3 already in the Pro League. Can he pull off another?
Never count Jerd out, but it's a tough situation to be in, of course, with Attach still being alive. You always have that win condition in the back of your mind. And right now, Attach has just as many kills as everybody on Splyce combined.
One bullet will take out Priest. The stun might actually do it. Oh, that's unfortunate for Jerd. I think he'll have a task anyways. There's another player lurking around.
Not much he could do, right?
Not much at all. There was nothing he could do. That grenade and shots, you know, you saw exactly what he was thinking, but unfortunately for him, Splyce are down 5-0.
All right, yeah, this is not looking good for Splyce. They have to make a full-scale comeback if they want to win this map. As their Search and Destroy woes continue. This is an abysmal game mode for them. Obviously, we've seen throughout Stage 2, they got to go back to the drawing board. They've got to figure it out. You cannot win games consistently unless you have some sort of Search and Destroy prowess to fall back on.
I mean, I know I'm jumping to conclusions, but I think it might be a viable one. After this, that would make them 1-8 if I'm not mistaken. It's a very, very poor performance. And again, it's just another loss for these guys. Mad Cat is picked. Jerd does answer back. Bance straight through the middle. They're looking to get aggressive, and you know why, of course, because there's so many score streaks. I believe there's still a fighter pilot available, an artillery barrage, but it was Attach who had them. He's 10-1. He's just found his first death.
Yeah, it's about time they killed him. Imagine if he just ended the game without dying once. As Splyce, they have the bomb planted. You have Jerd playing over near top red, so he's a bit removed out of the situation.
Got a grenade.
Well, that's nice. This is going to be impactful, though. Especially as Josh dies. Yeah, now they know Jerd's up top. You just go for the defuse. Just hop on it. This is a round win.
Here we go. Hopping on it. Can Jerd pick up the kills? He's spotted one. He needs to go. He needs to go. Bomb's being defused.
Not going.
That's going to be all she wrote. The 6-0 coming in for FaZe. And
wow,
that is it's such an uneventful way to
very
end such a series. Yeah, I'm just like, ugh. That's a game 5 and 1 in round 11s, but FaZe, I'm sure they'll be happy. They don't want a round 11 if you can close it out in 6. They'll be happy with that one and a much-needed win for FaZe. I think that would have been the case for any of them. Of course, rivalries here. Friends out of the game, of course, but all in all, 3-2 victory for FaZe. Strong performance.
And this is exactly what I highlighted coming to this matchup. I thought it would all come down to the Search and Destroys, and when you compared the records, of course, now we know Splyce 1-8 in that game mode. FaZe, they win 2 search and destroys. I think they're what, like, I want to say like 6-2 or something now. Obviously, this is a great game mode for them. Attach and Zuma specifically. Attach goes off in that game 5. And, you know, I was actually talking to Ben in the green room a little bit earlier. I was like, I feel like I haven't seen a game 5 in so long.
Yeah.
You finally get one and it lasts a total of 6 rounds.
It is disappointing for someone like ourselves who, you know, we want to cast an intense, you know, 6-5 round 11. But the one thing that we do take away from that is Splyce. You need to practice to search and destroy. Watch VODs. It's probably the best game mode to go back and watch VODs on and see where you're going wrong. I'd steer clear of Valkyrie, S&D, top tip. But overall, they need to do something because their hard point, when it's looking good, it's looking great. We saw that from map 1.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you are abysmal at search and destroy, like we were talking about, if you slip up in just one of the respawn game modes, then the series just slips out of your hands.
Okay, well, that is it from myself and Revan from Splyce and FaZe. It's going to be ended in 6 rounds. However, it's going to be 5 maps done, dusted, and these guys will have to go back, go rethink their strategy. Guys, we'll see you after this quick break.
We've been waiting for this moment, and it's finally here. The Call of Duty World League Championship.
Pushing back, they can't let them contest. 239, 239, 3 goes down. They're taking it, and Splyce is roaring.
Attach comes back. Here's the gunfight. Attach is able to win it.
That's how it's gonna end! That's how it's gonna end!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty World League presented by PlayStation 4. We're approaching the final game of day 2 here, week 2, Division A gameplay, and it should be a good one. Before we get there, however, I do want to take a quick moment to break down some of the action we just saw. We said we wanted to see a game 5. We finally saw a game 5. The only problem was, when we got to the game 5, it was a bit of a blowout, Nameless.
Yeah, I mean, before the game, I predicted it would be a back-and-forth game, both of them on an equal skill level at the moment. Search and Destroy hasn't been too good for Splyce. It shows true in that match right there. FaZe just picked him apart, particularly Attach. He was well played in both of the Search and Destroys. I think he started off that St. Marie 10-0. So him showing a little bit of a search and destroy ability because he has been lacking in the respawn.
And then for Splyce, like the even more concerning thing for me is like coming into today, they were 0-4 on Valkyrie S&D, and they're so fearful of their other like search and destroy maps that they're still playing Valkyrie. Like they are not winning at all. They've been getting demolished. Now they're 0-5, but like how bad is like their Forest S&D or something? Like how bad is it like getting for them if they're letting this map consistently go through, and maybe St. Marie kind of hints at a little bit, even on they're getting 6-0'd. Like that's how many 6-0s have we seen all year? A handful, like at best. Like that's not good.
I mean, do you kind of put that down to maybe not having enough time to mesh as a team? Is that, I don't want to say an excuse, but is that something that you can kind of give them an option of kind of get away with? Oh yeah, you know, still trying to mesh.
It's definitely a work in progress for this team. They're a brand new team, so you got to work out the kinks and try to figure out, you know, what works best for you. But moving on to the second week, I expect them to be a little bit better, not getting 6-0'd and not losing both Search and Destroys in the same series. After saying that though, FaZe is a little more experienced in Search and Destroy. You know, they have a lot of months under their belt where they haven't practiced. So I do expect them to win them, but I don't expect 6-0, 10-0 on the side of somebody like Attach against them. Splyce is too good for that, so they definitely need to fix their search.
And then like experience or not, like it's not like their teams are getting bullied out with the strap from the start. Like it's not like they're getting beat as a team. Like even in the rounds where it comes down to those 1v1s, the 2v2s, like unless it's Jerd, like no one's clutching up, no one's making the big plays in the middle of the round. So maybe it's just lack of search and destroy experience through the entire year. But like we're so deep into it, like there are zero excuses for how bad they've been. It has no concept of like just because it's a new team. Like I don't care if Josh and whoever you replace Tommy have like radically different roles. Like at this point, it doesn't matter. Like they're terrible in search. They're still playing the same maps, and if they don't fix it, like here's the issue. Like Splyce, I think even has looked better than what I expected coming in. But still, if you're never going to be able to win that game 5, like they're going to be happy to get 7th. Like they're just happy Epsilons in the league just to be above them. Like it's not good.
If they win a few more S&Ds, you know, they're sitting in that, you know, top 6 range and have a chance at making a run for playoffs. They're definitely not out of it yet, but it's just looking slow here in our second week of Division A.
Most definitely is. There's still 5 matches to be played here in week 2, and you are starting to see just a little bit of separation now between the top side and the bottom side of the groups.
And then look at how crazy like FaZe's kind of comeback has been, right? They start off 0-3 and we're like, oh, FaZe, you're not going to make it to playoffs. And then they win 3 in a row, but they also have a better like map win percentage than a lot of the teams. So just got to give shout outs to them for the nasty turnaround that they had, of course, capitalizing on it with that 6-0 victory on the St. Marie S&D. But again, huge turnaround, but it's not over yet because FaZe could have a terrible week number 3 or 5 or whatever it's going to be called. So like, again, it's very competitive, but if Splyce doesn't fix their search and destroy by like tomorrow, it might be a dire situation.
Yeah, they definitely need to try and turn things around. But I mentioned, of course, we have 5 matches left here week 2. Of course, we'll see 4 games tomorrow and 1 final game to be played on the main stage this evening. TK versus Team Envious. And I'm very excited for this matchup because for me, TK have